Oh, yep.
Like part 2.
We're recording now?
Yeah.
All right, awesome. So we left off with covering briefly the supplements. So again, I made this outline of this presentation for one of my other groups. So I just wanted to show kind of what the supplements might look like. So during times of, so something like liposomal vitamin C. So that's something that can be taken on a daily basis. So something like that, depending on what product you have, right? Go by the label directions. For this one, for example, that I'm showing is, the dose is a teaspoon once a day. However, during times of illness, that can be increased at least 3 to 4 times that level if you are ill. So as a preventative measure, have the recommended daily dose, but it can be pulsed higher when you're actually sick. Something like this is an example of the cold support probiotic that I was showing. So again, most probiotics, the recommended daily dose is going to be once a day. If you're sick, again, you can increase it to 2 or 3 a day, depending on your situation. The glutathione, so this is the one I recommend, the liposomal form, and it's a pump. So the dose is 2 pumps a day. And again, this is something that can be pulsed higher if you're actually sick. Vitamin D3 and K2. Vitamin D3 is fat soluble. So I don't recommend the little white hard tablets. I don't recommend those as a source of vitamin D3. I recommend either drops in an oil base or the gel capsules. Your body's going to absorb them better. Because again, if you're going to be taking a supplement, I want you to get the most benefit out of it. So if you're spending money on a supplement, it's worth spending a little bit of extra money to get the better form. So this is an example of the andrographis that I had mentioned, the herbal product. And this is a complex. So it has andrographis as its main ingredient and then has some other herbs as well. So for something like this, the recommended dose is 2 to 4 tablets a day. Again, this is not something you would take every day, just during times where there's peak need for it, right? So I've been recommending people take 2 a day, and then if they get sick or someone in their house gets sick, then increase that to 4 tablets a day. Silver pure, so this is colloidal silver. So I love using colloidal silver for all kinds of stuff because nothing can grow in silver. It's great for cleaning. You can use it in sore throats. For talking about oral health, if you use a water pick, you can put some silver into your basin with your water pick when you're cleaning your mouth. That's going to help keep everything super, super clean as well. So great for oral health, can be taken internally. Again, recommended dose, again, not something you need to take every day, but if you feel you've been exposed, a teaspoon a day is great. And again, it can be increased up to a certain safe limit for that as well. This is an example of reishi mushrooms. There's different forms of it. So just as an example of medicinal mushrooms that can be used to help support and boost our immune system as well. And this is something that I use as part of my daily strategy for overall health year round, no matter what. This is a recipe of a sinus rinse that I really like to use. So again, coronavirus, we're worried about droplets, worried about it being infected through our sinuses and through our mouth. So if you are ill or if you believe you've come in contact, this is a recipe that I have for a sinus rinse. So if you have a neti pot or a sinus rinse bottle, 1/8 of a teaspoon of xylitol, which is a plant-based sweetener that you can, in Canada, I get it at the bulk barn. You can sometimes get it at the superstore, so any of the Loblaws companies. So that in an ounce of colloidal silver and dilute it with distilled water. I warn you, it will burn the first few times you use it because it's disrupting the flora in your sinuses. But this is something you can use to keep those sinuses clean. Again, the colloidal silver is going to kill anything off in there, and then you're going to kind of re-inoculate with healthy probiotics at the same time. So I love using that for people who have chronic sinus issues. So I'm just going to wrap it up with, again, bringing it home for a full perspective. So these were the CDC recommendations. We're pretty much all under this effect now. When I put the core of this presentation together a week ago, it wasn't the situation that it is now. That's how quickly things can change. So at that time, and even more so now, it's pretty much being forced upon us to avoid close contact with anyone who is sick, avoid touching your mouth, nose, and eyes, stay at home if you're sick, cover your cough and sneezes using a tissue, throw away any used tissues into the trash, Wash your hands regularly with soap and water, especially before eating. So I'm encouraging, as soon as my kids get in the house from school, please go wash your hands. And anytime you've coughed, sneezed, or blown your nose, or after you've used the washroom. When soap and water are not available, alcohol-based hand sanitizers are great. And I just thrown in there that they have to be a minimum of 60% alcohol. So there's tons of recipes floating online to make your own cleaning products and hand sanitizers, it's great. You can totally do it. It's more effective to buy the big bottle of alcohol, but it has to be a minimum of 60% alcohol for it to be effective. So do mind the recipe very carefully, because you might be thinking you're cleaning your hands or your surfaces with that, and it might not be strong enough, okay? So clean and disinfect any objects or surfaces touched with a cleaning wipe or spray. And face masks should be worn by people who show symptoms to prevent the spread of disease. However, they're not really recommended for people who are well. One, there's no supply of proper masks at this point. It's better that you take the overall health strategies, because again, it's inevitable we're going to come in contact with it. We want to make sure your body is resilient so you stay healthy. And this is where, going forward, right? So dealing with what we are now and going forward, this is, for us as mothers, this is not going to be the first time this happens in our lifetime. This is not going to be the last time. And for our children, they're going to be in situations like this probably several times in their lifetime. That's the new reality. So I told them I want them to learn how to take care of themselves and their families and what to do in these situations, right? So we are the teachers. So this is what we're going to do. So I want you in the next couple of weeks, set the intention of how you want to spend time with your family. What are you going to do to get that, to be in that state of love or joy more often? Take the time today, maybe if your kids are off at school or this weekend, what do you want that time to be like? Do you want it to be a time of chaos and fighting and you're upset because now you got to deal with this thing and there's this other stuff going on? Or are you going to change your mindset and your intention of how you look at this of what are we going to do together? How are we going to make the best of this? What are we going to learn together? What do I want my children to remember from this time period? That, because my kids are happy. They have 3 weeks no school. Like, the kids are happy. So why do I need to be dumping my potential stress on them? That's not going to do them any good. Like, they're ready to go and have fun. Like, let's make that possible in the environment that we can do it at, keeping them safe. Be mindful of how you are spending your time. So this is your mental time and your mental energy. Social media, watching the news, YouTube. Ask your questions. What information do I need to take from this? So you're going to be, especially if people are home from work, working from home, we're all very curious and very concerned for good reason. But when we're taking in any news sources, social media, I don't watch the news on a regular basis, but we need to ask ourselves, what information do I need to take from this, right? We can have the objectivity of watching the news piece, but what's relevant for me? Not everything in that piece is relevant for you, so pick what's relevant for you. You have the power to decide that. So I want you to have that sense of power going forward. Review it objectively. Ask yourself, does this apply to me? And how can I help or make the situation better, right? So, taking the initiative and, saying like, this affects my community. How can I help or make the situation better? That's what's going to make a difference. So whether you are in a community of 500 people or 4 in your house, how can I help and how can I make this situation better for me, my neighbors, my family? If you feel overwhelmed, stop. Like, full stop what you're doing as soon as you recognize that. I definitely, yesterday afternoon, once I got the news flash that the kids' school was going to be closed, I was definitely overwhelmed. Had the awareness, stop, check in, where are the emotions? What am I feeling? Am I feeling anger? Am I feeling fear? Like, what is it that I'm feeling? Stop it, recognize it, so that I have the power to move beyond it. And what can I do to shift this quickly? What can I do? Who do I need to talk to? I was unloaded in the dishwasher. So I had my wine glass sitting on the counter, and there was an open bottle of wine, and it looked really tempting because I knew others were doing it last night. I'm like, no, this is what I'm preaching on, right? I have to live what I'm preaching. Put the glass in the cupboard, made my cup of mint tea instead. So stop when you're overwhelmed and find your harmony. I'm using the word harmony because I don't like the word balance, because I don't believe there's any true thing as balance, but finding a harmony in your life, in this new situation, everything going forward, and raise your vibration. Beautiful music, harmony, is made at higher vibrations, right? Like we talked about the classical music. So we can raise our vibration when we feel ourselves in overwhelm and stuck in a mental loop through food, yummy food, music, dance, laughter, joy, love. We can do all these things to raise our vibration. That's going to keep us and our families and our homes happy and healthy and vibrant. So in Ontario, what they're saying right now is if you're unwell, call telehealth. Don't go to your doctor. Don't go to a clinic. If you're unwell, call telehealth or your local health unit. Wherever you are watching this, you can definitely Google your local health authority and find out what their recommendations are to protect the spread of you and your family. So that's everything I threw together for you guys. Questions? We'll open the floor for questions and comments and carry this conversation on.
Good. That was amazing. Thank you so much. Does anybody have questions? Mandy, did you want to ask?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, it's Jennifer. My daughter has asthma. Can I give her the colloidal silver?
There would be no reason why you couldn't give her the colloidal silver.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, hi Mandy.
Okay, sorry, this is my first time using this, so I know my video was probably pretty distracting earlier with my kids.
Okay.
But anyway, it just occurred to me today, I have mitral valve prolapse,
Yep.
which I never really considered it much of a heart condition before until all of this, and I'm wondering, should I be concerned? I mean, do I need to take extra precautions?
Well, you're going to do other than what I laid out today, like that's your strategy, right? If you go to your doctor, you call your doctor, they're not going to have probably even a fraction of that information in there for you. So that is your strategy for a healthy life going forward, right? So selecting what immune boosting supplements would be appropriate for you and making sure you're sleeping, making sure you're eating healthy food going forward so that, again, if you do have a pre-existing health condition, one, we don't want you to get sick. If you do, we want you in the best shape to deal with that. Because if your body's healthy, you should be able to overcome this or any type of illness or stressor that comes your way.
Okay, great. Thank you. Very informative talk, by the way, too.
Yeah, and you guys, this is what I'm always prepping you for, right? Like I worked in hospitals, you guys, with the sickest of the sick, and my job was to rehab them. And I know without, beyond a shadow of a doubt, when you show up to health crises, injuries, health issues of any kind, when you show up strong in body and mind, you get through it faster. You get through it with way less stress on your system. And what people used to say to me is, I wish I had taken better care of myself. Like, why didn't I take better care of myself? And that is kind of what all of this is about to me. And this is really driving it home for me. And I hope for you guys, like the things I teach you and push you to focus on. Did I lose you?
I just stopped screen share.
Okay. I've lost my screen here. It doesn't matter. I'll just keep talking. The things I make you guys do and I push you to do and the things I get you to think about are all leading up to making you super strong so that when this stuff happens, we are ready. We are prepared. Our bodies are able to handle it. And if you do get sick, if I do get this, if I do get hit by a car, if I do get cancer, if I do have a heart attack, because those things happen to healthy people, I know that I can handle it. I know that I've done everything in my power to show up to this day in my best health because I want zero regrets. And I just love that we're having this conversation and that you guys are here and showing up and asking questions and taking this initiative and being part of this amazing community. And again, just being there to take just incredible care of your family, because I know that comes and falls on you. Is anyone else?
Yeah. I just want to like, again, re-emphasize that point of the things we do on a daily basis of really checking yourself of where that's coming from. Because to your point of like, we all know the healthy person who got cancer. We all know the healthy person who got sick. And especially sometimes in the uber health communities, it's those people we idolize who get sick. And a lot of times it's because they're doing it out of fear, right? They are ultra vegan. They're ultra hyper conscious about things because they fear the thing, and the thing we focus on and the thing we give energy to, that's what happens, right? So if we come to all of this, and that's like my mission in life is empowering women, that if we come to all of this of I do this to keep myself well and healthy and balanced and to be an example for my children and grandchildren, that's from that higher vibration state, that's where it's at. If we're doing it from I need to go run so I don't gain weight, and I need to eat this broccoli to keep my risk of breast cancer down. If it's coming from fear, that's that low vibration state, and we're focusing on the wrong thing, because what you focus on magnifies. You give juice to the thing you focus on, right?
Oh, so powerful. That's amazing. If nobody else has questions, I think that is like the perfect place to end this. And of course, so how, if people want some supplements, they want more information on supplements, how I can't manage that. How can they get in touch with you? How can you help them out?
Okay. So I was going to do two things. One, I was going to basically take the information from today's presentation, put it in like a document or PDF, so it's easier for people to access. So I can put the link to that in the group. So I was going to put a link that they can go, and I'll send an email out. It's not done, so it won't be till later today. And then you'll have my email address. So that's the easiest way if someone has direct questions for that. And if it's okay with you, I can put the link to my free Facebook group, which is called Universal Health RX. So that's where, I bring basically what you're doing, Carrie, I'm bringing that into that Facebook group as well. So putting my health stuff out there on a regular basis. Those are the two best ways to keep in contact with me and to reach out. But everyone in this group obviously can just click on me and send me a message to get started.
Good. And that's okay with you?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. You guys, we have such amazing resources right in this.
I know.
Incredible. Okay. So thank you so much. Everybody, take care of yourselves. Vibrate higher. I'm always telling you guys that. Choose your energy and have an awesome weekend. Ask us anything. Take care.
Awesome. Thanks, Carrie.
Bye.